Hello, my name is John Bolt, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about workers' comp, how it has affected my life, and a little bit about the history of workers' comp, and if you ever are faced with an injury on the job, what you should do or not do if you're injured. In 2004, I was injured on the job. I went to my employer and told them that I was injured. I was then given a ride home, told to take as many days off as I needed to. I took off a Friday and a Monday. I laid in bed for 4 straight days. I returned to work, informed them that I felt I needed more care, and 3 days later, the PR director, who happened to be the owner's wife, came back to me and said that she would be happy to pay my co-pays and just to put it under my insurance. About 30 days later or so, I finally found a doctor who would take the case, because no one wanted to take the case. They either want you to put under your insurance or workers' comp. Most doctors don't even want to deal with workers' comp at all. So I went to a doctor, and he convinced me to put it on workers' comp. And 4 days later, I was laid off from my job of 4 years. And since 2004, I've been fighting with workers' comp, tooth and nail, every step of the way. Let me tell you a little bit about VWC. In a journal by William H. Seitz, Jr., he says that the BWC started with 3 board members, each member representing labor, employers, and public. He also stated the system became the largest monopolistic insurance company in the world. I thought that was interesting. He later goes on to say that the system itself has frequently proven to be an obstacle to providing care and pits employees against employers, which happened to me. WorkersCompensation.com states that the first version of workers' comp was a no-fault system of compensating workers and families for their injuries, occupational diseases, death related to the job, and is paid by the industry. This kind of means that you can't sue your employer, you sue the Bureau of Workers' Comp, and you go through that system. In another article by WorkersCompensation.com on January 19th of this year, the CEO stated that this budget lets us continue our focus on getting injured workers healthy and safely back to work sooner, while further maintaining stable, reasonable workers' compensation rates for employers. It's kind of easy to balance your budget if you're not paying for people's care. They want to fight it every step of the way. A couple things that you should not do that I learned not to do and to do. First, you want to make your employer aware that you're injured. Make sure that they give you care. Make sure they get you to the ER or the urgent care or whatever it is you need to do. Second thing is make notes. Very clear notes on when it happened, what happened, all of those things. They will be very important if this has to go to court for some reason. Make sure when you're done at the ER and you go home and you follow their instructions, that you follow up with a doctor. If your doctor doesn't want to take the case, ask them, who will take the case? Do you know someone? I had to go to a chiropractor for my back injury. No one else would take the case. I found that was not a great thing. Chiropractors like the money, but they don't want to do the work. So I spent quite a few years just bashing my head against the wall with my so-called doctor to get care that I needed. Call your lawyer. It's very important to call your lawyer. It's very important to do everything he says. He's protecting you. Obviously, my employer was not interested in my injury, how I felt, or anything. They just said, have a nice day. So your lawyer is going to tell you exactly what to do. Follow his advice. The last thing that you need to do is do not go back to work too early. If you feel the need to take days off of work because you're injured, there's a rule that states you have to miss 8 consecutive days of work to receive any benefits down the road, whether it be re-education. I missed 4 days of work, I went back to work. I missed 2 days of work, I went back to work because I couldn't afford to miss. Well, now, since 2004, I'm forced to retrain myself, find my own schooling, pay for it myself. It's just been a headache. So make sure if you're injured bad enough, the current money that you're receiving is not nearly as important as your health and what might happen in the future. In conclusion, I hope I've given you a few things about the workers' comp system. It's a broken system. It's not going to be fixed anytime soon, and I hope that when you leave here today, and God forbid you're injured, you know that there are things that you can do to make sure that you don't have to go through the same headaches that I did.